Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, this is Chan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. We have back today, by very popular demand, Glenn Ickler, our resident mystery writer. He lives in Hopedale. He vacations in summer over in Martha's Vineyard. Welcome back, my friend.
Well, thank you for allowing me to come back again.
Oh, yeah. Glenn, you've been on with us since, we began the show in 2012. Is this the fifth, sixth? How many times has it been? 7?
Well, it must have been, this must be, if I came in 2012, this must be 7.
This man gets books out like that. Now, the latest one, I told him, I finished it this morning over breakfast because last night I passed out and I said, all right, well, I'll finish it in the morning. Well, I got up about an hour late this morning, so I'm going like this and I'm reading the back. It's called Arsenic and Old Men. Now, another generation would remember a title called Arsenic and Old Lace. But this, now the last one was a doomsday killing. All right, that one fascinated me, and this one fascinated me. You've got a whole new, I don't know, you're doing the books like longer this time, a little bit bigger.
No, that's the same size.
Is it the same?
It's
They
exactly
seem different.
the
Maybe
same
because
size.
the covers are more dark, and then the light,
Yeah.
Arsenic and Old Men.
I've been writing dark.
Well, and before I forget, I was looking, he always signs it. He signs his books when he sends them. To Jan, thanks for the nagging. And that's because I said, when's your next book coming? When's your next? But then I scrolled up, and under the dedication, it said, I've never had this happen. To Jan, who kept nagging me to bring Mitch and Al out of Minnesota for an adventure in Massachusetts. He did it.
So she's to blame for that.
To blame for this. They're going to have a copy downstairs, right?
Yes.
Now, Glenn, without giving away the ending, which I couldn't even figure out, tell us about Arsenic and Old Men.
Well, it starts out with Mitch and Al, our usual reporter-photographer team, and their cartoon buddy, Dave Jerome, shaking hands on the beach on Martha's Vineyard, shaking hands with a naked man.
It's a nude beach.
You like that opening, did you?
Oh yeah, he was a lawyer. He was the lawyer.
He's the lawyer for Dave's uncle. Walt Jerome has died, apparently of a heart attack, all alone in his house.
Yeah,
and,
apparently.
And Dave is the only sole survivor in the family, so he is meeting this lawyer, and the lawyer, it's a beautiful sunny day, and the lawyer doesn't want to be in the office, so he goes to this clothing optional beach and chooses the unclothed option. And they're rather startled, but they settle down, the lawyer gives them the lowdown. Dave has inherited a house, which is called a cottage, but it's got 4 bedrooms and 2 stories.
It's worth $800,000, right?
Yeah, for $850,000 plus a bank account that's worth almost $500,000. So it looks pretty good. And the deal is that the 3 guys have come there and they brought their wives along with them for just a brief time on Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
And just time to get poor Uncle Walt cremated and get his ashes scattered according to the directions that he has left.
Yeah, and wait till you hear about the ashes routine. Oh my God.
Anyway, they figure they'll be out of there in 3 or 4 days easily. They've got air reservations for the 4 days down the line. And the lawyer tells him that that things will be okay as soon as the autopsy is finished. And this is totally startling. And why do you need an autopsy? Apparently, he had a heart attack. Well, it seems that in Massachusetts, the law is that an unattended death, you have to have an autopsy.
You die alone, you get opened up.
Yeah, and this guy, his house cleaner walked in and found him dead in a chair. So, okay, that's going to make things tight. If
Yeah.
they've got to, then it gets even tighter when the autopsy shows that he has a lethal dose of arsenic in him.
Yes.
So now we've got a homicide to deal with, and they're going to be there for a few days.
Yeah, a few.
Yeah. So the dead Uncle Walt was a former editor of the St. Paul paper, which is where Mitch now worked. So their editor tells them to stay there and cover the investigation.
Yeah.
And of course Dave stays because it's his
has
uncle.
to. Yeah.
He has to, and the wives go home and leave these three fellas
Yeah.
to deal with it all. And so that's how we start.
Yeah. Now, when you this is so doggone funny. There's so much of it in here. The names that Glenn comes up with are amazing. Would you say elderly? What were they? Were they middle-aged? How old were the I'm a Jewel and You're a Jewel?
Oh, they were young, sexy redheads.
Okay. They're named twins.
Twins, identical twins.
I'm a Jewel, and the other is You're a Jewel, URA.
Yes.
Where did you come up with it?
These are based on a real, some idiot millionaire in Texas back in the 60s, whose last name was Hogg, H-O-G-G, named his daughters Ima and Yura.
I'm a hog and you're a
Oh, God.
Can you imagine growing up with that?
Yeah, I can't imagine going into junior high with a name like that.
No, and You're a hog is going to the prom.
Oh, you're a hog, huh?
And those two ladies come to the door of the cottage, and they meet them there, right, for the first time?
They meet them in the lawyer's office.
The lawyer's office, okay.
Yeah, because it's going to go over the transfer of the IRA account from the dead Uncle Walt to Dave Jerome and his wife.
Yeah,
So-
and let me tell you, I'm not going to tell you the ending, but it's just, I did not expect it at all. I was kind of zeroing in on a little bit of the main character, but like I was telling Glenn, Dave, but then I thought, no. Glenn has a marvelous way of keeping the action going, but keeping you informed. Like, some of us have to go back and find out who was this, if it's too many people, right?
Mm.
He always reminds you who the person is with their title. Like Don in Minnesota, he'll remind you who this person is. And I love it when you say, have a good day. Yeah, what is it?
Everybody says that.
Everybody, and was it Mitch says, nobody, who cares, right?
That's right. I don't really care.
I always picture Mitch as you, and I know it's supposed to be Al and Mitch. Al is the the photographer, and Mitch is the journalist.
That's
But
right.
I always, Mitch Mitchell, I picture him as Glenn.
Mm.
Because that sense of humor, it's like you.
Yeah, well, I have a couple of friends who read all my books, and one of them said that he can hear me talking when he reads it.
Exactly. This is exactly what I went through. Now, this is not. This is a really fast read. Now, I'm a slow reader, and I have a lot of books to read. So, for most of you out there, it's going to be. Like I said, I just finished it. This has been everywhere. Doctors' waiting rooms. If I'm going somewhere and I have to wait before it's my turn to do something, people say, "What are you reading?" And I said, "Oh," and then I'm there. And I said, "And I know the author." And they'll say, "Arsenic and Old Men." I'll say, "Yes, it is. I'm Mitch and Al." Well, who are Mitch and Al? And so I end up explaining your whole story.
Oh, good.
Well, not the ending.
No,
No, not the ending. But these poor people, Mitch, Al, and Dave, get stranded on Martha's Vineyard, and they keep trying to rent a car over and over. What is it with this guy?
The guy keeps trying to give them the weekly rate, and they're only going to be there for a couple more days.
Yeah, right, and that doesn't work out. They're going to be there a lot.
And they wind up going back for a couple more days. And
Exactly.
in the end, they would have been ahead in renting it for the week, but they didn't know that at the time. And
That was it. The chief of Oaks Bluff, Manny Govea.
Yeah.
Is he the chief or the detective?
He's the detective. He's the homicide head of the homicide.
He's a card.
He's a one-man homicide department. He doesn't like reporters at all.
No.
And especially them, because they've been there a couple times earlier, and they solved the case before he did. And he didn't really care for that.
They stole his thunder, and they've done it again.
Exactly.
We've done it with again.
Yeah.
Did you know when you started the book how it was going to be? Did you have it mapped in your mind?
I had the beginning and the end. and kind of, things, yeah, and I had the second murder in mind.
Yeah, now that was amazing because here's this, homeless man, right? And he is out in the middle camping on what would now be Dave's new property since his uncle died. And I still couldn't figure out who the heck would want him dead. I really didn't know. I didn't realize, I'm not going to tell you, I didn't realize the connection with the killers, whatever. That there was a definite connection.
Yes, there was.
I couldn't figure it out. And then one of them went in to try to say hello to him in the tent, rock him awake, and he was dead.
Yeah. He got a hold of the dead feet, and it wasn't a really good feeling.
Where do you get these ideas? Because you can picture it every single way you go through the story. I'm picturing everybody doing everything.
Oh, that's good.
How long did you... About a year? It's been a year since I've seen you?
Yes, just about.
Just about. And you were over in Hopedale at the Bancroft Library Saturday.
Yeah.
And that went well.
It did, yes.
Were you the only presenter?
There were two women selling children's books.
Oh, okay.
And they did good, too.
Well, that's quite a mix.
And there was one other woman who had some, I think they were mysteries, I don't know, and she didn't do a thing. She got up and left early, so...
She didn't stay to give her presentation?
No.
And she's an author.
Yeah. Not a good idea.
No, and this gentleman right here, the last time I saw him at the Bancroft Library in Hopedale, there were three. There was a young guy who's starting out with his books, right? He's been on the show too.
Yeah.
And he also commented on what I'm going to say. And then there was a lady, and then there was Glenn. And Glenn got up to speak first. And Glenn says, "I kill people."
That got their attention.
Yeah, and it got his too. He said he hadn't forgotten it because he said, "How am I going to follow that act?" That is pretty cool. Now, is there going to be
funny? I got the same reaction on Martha's Vineyard when I gave that same talk.
Are they
the guy after me says, "I don't know how I'm going to follow this."
Was he scared?
No, he wasn't scared, but he was,
you took him by surprise.
Yeah.
Well, you took all of us in there.
Well, yeah, I got a lot of comments on the vineyard when I gave my presentation down there. I was hearing about it a year later from people.
Well, it's smaller, and are they more conservative, or am I off on that? A little more conservative there on reading? Would that really shock them more than it would us out here?
Oh no, it's a very eclectic crowd there. I mean, the criminal. This is in the historic campground where they range from very religious people to very far out people, and they come from all over the country. So,
is there really a nude beach?
Yes, there is.
Really?
There are two nude beaches.
Two?
Yes, there's the one that's in the book, and there's another one out on the near the point on the far western point.
Have you really gone there?
Yes, I have. I've seen naked people there.
You didn't join in the fun,
no. I walked it last summer. In fact, I walked it with my oldest son and his wife and their two teenage boys, and there were naked people all over the place.
You took the kids there?
Well, yeah, you can't leave them behind.
Well, take them to another beach.
They're 18 and 19.
Oh, okay.
They're not like little kids.
Oh, were they stunned? Like,
well, they weren't. No, they didn't especially like it.
They didn't? Oh, they were uncomfortable.
Especially naked men.
Well, that's how Glenn's book, Our Stick and Old Men, starts, because the three men go to meet the lawyer, and the lawyer is at the beach. But look at these guys know, this guy has no clothes on, and he's the lawyer. What a heck of a way to begin it.
Yeah, it's called Lucy Vincent Beach, and you walk onto it, and if you go to the right, it's clothing optional, and you go to the left, you wear bathing suits. Luckily, the wives went to the left to leave the men alone.
That's right, you made sure that the wives went down. And the guys, he's talking, he was writing it, so the guys are trying, here's this naked lawyer.
This naked lawyer is not all that good looking, and with clothes off either, believe me.
And you guys, because Mitch reminds me of you. You're averting your gaze so that you're not to see him. Luckily, the next time you saw him was in the office.
Yes,
he had all his
clothes on.
And that was much better for the guys. How do people go about getting arsenic in old men?
Well, they can go on my website, which is glenickler.net. They can email me at glenryder@verizon.net. They can go on Amazon, or they can go, into the bookstore and order it through there.
Well, I know it's over at the Bancroft Library. I've perused the shelves and I found
you can read the library copy, but I don't get any money from that. So.
No. But don't forget, on our dedicated authors wall here in Upton.
Yes.
Let's go on downstairs.
Yep.
This picture, I'm glad you haven't changed it, because that is a fantastic picture. When was that taken? Not that long ago.
It was taken before my first book came out in 2002.
Well, you haven't changed that much. I would know immediately who that is. No, I would really know.
Yeah.
Glenn
It was
Ickler's
done
had
by a pro in Milford.
You did a great job.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Glenn Ickler has had a long career in newspapers as a reporter, feature writer, theater critic, columnist and editor in Minnesota and Massachusetts. He was the leader of an editorial page staff that was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize, and he's won numerous awards for his writing. A native of Minnesota, we'll ignore that. He now resides in the tiny town of Hopedale, Massachusetts, somewhere west of Boston, and spends the summer months in a tiny cottage on Martha's Vineyard. What a ham. He sent me a picture of him, two pictures of him, sitting in his cottage on Martha's Vineyard. He looked like he was in paradise. Got his feet up. He's reading the paper. You love it there. You really
do. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Let me ask you, is the next mystery going to be there, or is it going to be...
I'm trying to figure out a way to put it there. I mean, they could come back. Well, I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out a way to get them back there.
How about one coming up in Hopedale?
Murder in Hopedale? In Utopia? Hopedale was founded as a utopian village.
It was?
Yes, it was.
What's that all about?
Oh, a guy named Aidan Blue.
B-L-U-E?
B-A-L-L-O-U.
Okay.
Aidan Blue, who was a utopian guy back in 1835 or something like that, founded Hopedale as a utopian community.
What's that supposed to mean, though?
It means that everything is lovely and peaceful. Look at the street names: Peace and Hope, and in the name of the town, Hopedale.
And then that beautiful little pond there with the duckies.
Yeah, right.
We need swans over at our beach. Evidently, swans scare away.
Yeah, swans
geese.
will drive anything away.
Oh, well, that's good, because we have a little problem with this. A lot of my viewers and people who go to the Upton Town Beach know there's a little problem with goosey poop, and nobody wants to walk on the goosey poop. So they were thinking at one time, and I hope they haven't lost the idea of getting a couple, a guy and a girl swan, right, a mated pair, get them over there, because then the geese won't. I didn't know this, but the geese won't come.
I've seen swans chase geese right off the water.
Why? There's so many geese versus two swans.
Well, swans are, I don't know, swans are pretty tough.
You know, if you go through Whitensville, and if you're going over to Walmart, I don't know if you get over that way, but you go by Meadow Pond and Arcade Pond. Meadow Pond has a flock. I don't know where they got all these. Well, I'm sure they do. They had a couple, and they just grew up. But they're so funny when they fish. Up goes the butt, and down goes the head. You go by,
they're really fun to look at.
And then the mummy and the daddy are swimming along in the spring, and then the little ones are following right behind them. Oh, they're so cute. But I think Hopedale, I can see now why they would say utopian.
Yeah.
But then when the factory came...
The factory changed everything.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like it that you live in a gorgeous community. You even have your own post office.
That's right.
Do you use that one?
Yeah.
You do. Mail comes right there.
Mail comes there. We can mail letters there. Drop them off there.
I've never heard of a condo place where people had their own, talk about utopia, their own U.S. post office.
Yeah.
That is a pretty, how long have you been over there?
33 years.
You like it.
We moved in before the front steps were on, as a matter of fact. They were still...
How'd you get in?
through the garage and over the back deck. We had to store furniture in the garage and
Well, we've
bring
driven
stuff
through
over the back deck.
It's beautiful. It's like, so you're more in the beginning part, right? Kind of towards
Well, we're sort of in the middle, actually. It was at the time it was the last set of units, and then they opened up another. We were supposed to get a place in the next set of units,
Yeah.
and for another extra $30,000 more.
Oh, great.
And somebody couldn't get financing,
Yeah.
and we looked into this one for $30,000 for the lower price.
Yeah, and you got it.
Yeah.
How long before you had stairs to get in?
No, we moved all the stuff in,
Yeah.
and then left and went to Minnesota for 2 weeks to visited our
Yeah.
family there. Brought a friend back with us, and by that time the steps and things were on. But the padding was down for the carpeting, but the carpeting wasn't. But she had some friends up in Maine that she'd gone to college with, this friend, and we invited them down. We had a dinner party on the plastic carpeting. Brought the dining room table in, put it together, had the party, took the table apart, put it back out so they could put the carpeting in.
Well, where did you sleep them? Where did they sleep?
Huh?
Did they sleep there?
Yeah, we had 2 bedrooms. Well, the friends went back to Maine, but the one that came out with us slept there, yeah.
So you had the beds in place?
We had the beds. We had the beds in place.
But not the dining room?
Not the
living
dining room, no.
Is the what's the HOA fee? I bet that's through the roof over there. That monthly HOA? What's it, about $300-400 now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what kills so many people.
Mm-hmm.
You take a lot of seniors who want to downsize. Let's get a condo. So they think, well, I could maybe get $290,000, $300,000 for my house.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they could buy the condo, but that's that huge fee every month. You might as well be renting to a roommate. I don't know how people do it. I really don't. Are you on the committee?
It keeps sneaking up all the time.
Yeah, I think if I lived in a place like that, I would say, I'm going to be on that committee, and I want to see where is this money going.
Yeah,
That's enough.
I was for a while. I'm off it now. They got a whole new board. That's.
Yeah. Are they upping it? They're the ones who are upping it all the time.
I am.
Can't you put a stop to that?
Well, there's stuff that, there is inflation to deal with, and the original board didn't put enough money away for a rainy day maintenance and kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then we had, a really bad ice storm a couple winters ago. Remember, the roofs were huge icicles all over, and there was a hell of a lot of damage on the roofs and in the walls and everything. And they had to borrow money to make the repairs.
But this is
to pay for the repairs.
This is a big condo place where you'd think with everybody giving $300 or $400 a month, you'd think they'd be swimming in it. They'd have more than enough. I don't know who they're hiring.
Yeah, I
makes you
don't know.
wonder. Now we're
really
talking again
don't
with
know.
Glenn Ickler, and he's our resident whodunit. Arsenic and old men. And the last one that he had and he was on was the Doomsday Killing. Boy, that was good too. Oh, let me tell you. I think he gets better and better, to tell you the truth. I don't know. These are my two
Well, I
favorites.
hope I do.
Yeah. The Doomsday Killing and this one, Arsenic and Old Men, are my favorites. They really, really are. But I swear you've changed the size of this thing.
No, it's exactly. You can lay that on top of
The
your
other
other
ones.
book, and you'll see it's the same size.
Now, when I saw the printing, at first I thought it was smaller, right?
No, yeah, it's
But
the
you made it
same
darker.
size.
Right.
It's a different face type. Yeah, it's a darker sans serif type.
Yeah.
But,
I want to give them a treat.
this publisher uses a different type.
Different type.
Typeface.
First chapter, on the beach. I'm going to give you a little opening squib here.
Oh, okay.
Where does a guy dressed modestly in shorts and a t-shirt look when he's shaking hands with a naked man? That was my dilemma as I reached for the outstretched hand of the nude sunbather who was introducing himself to me on the clothing optional section of Lucy Vincent Beach on the island of Martha's Vineyard. Richard Rylander, the naked man was saying, but you can call me Dick. I don't believe in formalities. Okay, I got it. This is a lawyer. Now, he was based on Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, he has an office in Oak Bluffs. on the second floor on Main Street of Oakland.
He said, I don't believe in formalities or swimsuits, I said to myself. 6'1" in height, I was looking down at Dick Rylander, who stood about 5'7", with a sagging pot belly that thankfully obscuring all objects between his navel and his knees. You know, you don't leave anything to the imagination. Do you crack up when you're writing?
Well, I sometimes smile, yes.
Because the sense of humor you have. I mean, every time I'm like, I'm reading like,
That's what I'm aiming at.
and he comes up, he always the craziest names. They'll seem like they're from way back when, or you've got them from somewhere else, but they fit right into the story.
Well, no, yeah, got Teddy Kennedy.
Oh yeah, the homeless guy who thought
He
his
thinks
first
he's-
name was Teddy,
Yes.
but then he would refer to himself as Teddy Roosevelt or Teddy Kennedy.
Yeah.
Oh, what was his last name again?
Teddy Brewster.
Brewster is on the Cape, right?
Brewster is on the Cape.
Yeah, that's on the
If
Cape.
you think about the original book, the original play, Arsenic and Old Lace,
Yeah.
the main character's name is Teddy Brewster,
See, I hadn't read that.
who thinks he's Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, you're sneaky.
Oh, I am.
He's sneaky, that. Oh, we got about 2 minutes left. Again, another great one
looking
by...
for a theme.
I know it. Another one by our Glenn Ickler. We love him, known him for years. Arsenic and Old Lace. Again, how can they get a hold of your book?
They can get a hold of it through my website, which is glenickler.net. They can email me at glenwriter@verizon.net. They can go on amazon.com, where I've got a couple of pages full of books. And
Downstairs.
downstairs, they can get it at the library.
Did I just say Arsenic and Old Lace? Did I slip that? Arsenic and Old Men? It's just too
I'm not
much to
sure.
say. These men, no, the men are not wearing lace.
No.
All right, before we
He's
close.
not wearing anything.
No. I did not expect that opening, and you're going to love it. You read this, you are going to love it.
Well, I was looking for an attention getter.
Oh, you got my attention.
Good.
And the thing is, you're not going to be able to figure out the villains in this. I challenge anyone to figure this out. I'm pretty darn good at mysteries. This got me, and the one, the Doomsday Killing, got me too. Now, he hates it when I do this. When's your next one?
I don't know.
Oh, he's going to give me the I don't know thing. Oh, well, next year? 2019?
Yeah, I haven't started on it yet, but I'll.
You haven't started?
No, I haven't. It's the holidays.
Oh, wow.
Plus, I just got back from a cruise, and I've got 400 pictures to go through.
Quickly, tell them where you went on your cruise.
Oh, I went on the Rhine River from Switzerland all the way to Amsterdam, and had a really good time.
Did you go by yourself? Did you take some friends?
I went by myself this time.
That's not scary? You felt lonely? No?
No, I met people.
Lots of people?
Yeah, lots of people. Yeah,
My father was like you. He'd go
hung
to
out
Europe.
with.
He could go anywhere
I
alone.
distinguished myself by knocking a glass of red wine into the lap of the guy next to me one night at dinner.
Did he get mad?
No. He's this mellow guy from Southern California. In fact, the last night there when we said goodbye, he hugged me. So.
Oh, you didn't get seasick because it was straight
No,
water.
it's a river. It's nothing.
I know when I went to Martha's Vineyard, where his summer hangout is, I did not do well. I did not lose my lunch, but I was not a happy camper. I don't, because of my inner ear thing, and they kept saying, focus on the horizon. I'm like, no.
No, the horizon keeps moving.
I know it. They said, we'll go downstairs. So I sat there, like, waiting. I can't be the only one who has a problem with that.
Oh, there's probably other people.
I couldn't go on a whale watch.
we when we used to ride a smaller, the ferry that doesn't carry cars, that thing really
Oh.
bounces. And one day we were sitting, my wife was over here, and there was a woman I'd never seen before in my life sitting on this side of me on a bench, and that boat was just going, and she had never been on it. Then she started crawling. Pretty soon she was practically in my lap.
I thought you were telling me she flew in your lap.
No, but she's got her arms around me. She's in my head. My wife is just laughing her head.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad she didn't. I thought you were going to say she leaned over the side and then.
No.
Oh, before we go, one more thing.
Yes.
They scattered the ashes of Walt. those ashes kind of came back to haunt them.
Well, yeah, it was in a rainstorm and the wind switched. Yes,
They were putting them out into the water.
If you've ever seen ashes, it's just a fine powder.
And they all had to get all de-ashed at the end. Well, Uncle Walt was very well remembered.
Yes, he was.
Glenn, thanks for coming on again.
Oh, thank you.
We'll see him again, too. He's got another one cooking up. I know he does. He has that in his brain. We'll see you next time. I'll be my guest.
Yes.